Hey, YouTube. Thanks for stopping by the Black Rock and Mohawk Railroad. I'm going to update on what I got done and talk about some of these buildings and why they're there. I was thinking lately about the fact that when you build a layout, no matter if you mean to or not, it tells a story. And like people like me returning to the hobby, we got decades of memories. I incorporate a lot of things from my childhood, from adulthood, into this. So one the last things I just got accomplished is that road right there. I did that with the AK Asphalt, and it has a learning curve, but it really turned. It is so smooth and really nice, and I love it. Haven't painted anything on it. I got some stripes coming and all that. I will tell you this. Okay, there's the picture of the asphalt company. Little plug for them. From here to about here, I just put the asphalt down right on the painted foam board. Do not do that. No. That was a mess. And I really thought I was going to have to tear it up. But I went back and what was happening, the paint was peeling off of this and it was getting into the goop of this and it was a mess. But I sanded it down some and then I put a couple more coats, and actually this turned out really smooth. And this stuff, hard as a rock once it dries. And you can cut out little cracks in it. You can put potholes in it. Really impressed with it, to be honest with you. So it's a little pricey for this stuff, and I'm not doing all the roads in this. I've got an idea to do some of the roads that are like country roads and not close to the vision area, but that worked out really well. So now we're going to talk about some buildings. And right here we have the Van Winkle Distributors, purveyors of liquor, wine, and beer. Now, I modeled this in the late 60s, early 70s, and in Tennessee back then, just about everything was dry. There was very little liquor to be able to be bought to take home. But now everything's different. So I don't care about that. But the reason this is named Van Winkle Distributors is that's in honor of my best buddy for decades. He worked for a liquor distributor for years. So I made that building just for that purpose, to be this distributor. And I can look at that and smile, and I know he'd got a laugh out of that. He was a great guy. So that's building number one. Down here, this building is going to be a bank. Doesn't mean anything to me whatsoever. This one back here, I bought just because the size was right, you know, but I didn't know what I was going to do with it. So the other day, I woke up and got dressed and grabbed a cup of coffee and came in here and go, what is that going to be? How can I tie it in somehow? And I happened to look down at my watch, and the T-shirt I had on said Dunder Mifflin. Bingo, Dunder Mifflin, and that's going to tie into another business. But it was perfect, and I'm a big Office fan. Cool, very cool show. So this little guy over here has been through the mill, without a doubt. I carried some of these models. I've carried around for 30 years across the country. This one got smashed. You can see a little where the white lines are. That's where it was broken. Put it back together. I got to touch it up, but I got to do all work on all these buildings. But that is going to be a restaurant, and it's Tony Paco's Hungarian Hot Dogs. And that is a real place in Toledo. Has multiple stores now up there, restaurants. And there was an episode of MASH where Klinger was from Toledo, and actually the guy who played that was from Toledo. And he arranged to have Tony Pacos send the hot dogs and their incredible sauce to Korea. And that just blew this place up. They're literally world famous now. And what's so cool, the original ones on the east side of town on Front Street, they have restaurants all around town. That one's just iconic, but no matter which one you go into, when you walk in, you're going to see hot dog buns in a plastic case on the walls of every famous person that's ever come to Toledo since this place opened. I think it was opened in the 34 or something like that. But they make these Hungarian hot dogs. They're actually sausage. They're big. And they cut them lengthwise. They put that in the bun. And then they have this incredible sauce that is, they have the best hot dogs I've ever tasted anywhere, and I've been all over. So Tony Pacos is going to be a resident here in Mohawk. So over here, we just have an appliance store, record store, and a pharmacy. Nothing really to see there much. That's the Merchant Row, Walther's thing. So we're going to scoot down here a little bit. There we go. So that guy right there is going to be a Woolworths 5 and Dime. Had one in Savannah, the town right outside of Toledo. You go in there with $1, walk out with your pockets full of stuff you didn't need. Loved it anyway. So that's Woolworths. This is going to be a 24-hour cafe thing, kind of like Waffle House. And that's going to be a clothing store. And my mom worked at a clothing store. And that's for her. And then next door, my dad had a service station and worked on cars a lot. So that's going to be his station. And that's my ode to him for giving me some of those jeans. And now back over there is Paul's Pizzeria. That's a building I just got. It looks brand new. I'll get around to weathering it, but I'm going to get the other buildings done first. The story for right now is, Paul's Pizzeria, their oven burned down the building and they made a new one. And that's why it looks so snoozy. So then back over here, we're going to have, back over here, we're going to have a Western Auto hardware store. And then this building, I've had this building. I don't know who painted it. I'm sure I didn't, because I wouldn't have painted it this color. But somebody I know painted it, and I might repaint it. I'm just not real fond of the coloring. But that's an apartment building. Then over here is a grocery store with a house next to it. And this is my ode to my grandparents, who built a store. They'd been in like leased buildings before, and then he had done so well. My grandparents were incredible entrepreneurs. Went through the Depression. My grandfather was in World War I, in a wheelchair with only one leg. And it was incredible. He built a grocery store. He built a house next to the grocery store. And like just up a little hill here, there was a ice cream stand. It was a Tasty Freeze when I was a kid. And then when I was in my teens or something, he retired. And then my grandparents took it over. And I would work that all the time and make myself hot foot sundaes. It was delicious. Delicious way to work. But I owned this store. I mean, I had full run in this place. And it was an amazing thing to grow up. Have a house over here, grocery store right here, boom. I was in there all the time. I used to work in there and do deliveries, all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's my favorite one. And then it's not last but not least, but this poor little thing back here, it got broken in all the travels I've done. But that is a train station. That's what it was billed as from the people who made the model. And I'm going to have a platform over here. So that'll be a train station once I get it all fixed up. And then last but not least is Heinz over here. Okay. So Heinz, these are 3 flats, background flats. I bought that one over there first, and I liked it so well. I went back on eBay and saw these 2. I thought, Heinz, okay, so that's the offices, that's the warehouse, and that's manufacturing. And why did I pick that? Well, the city of Mohawk is right close to the county line to Granger County. And Granger County has notorious reputation for wonderful tomatoes. And ConAgra built a plant in Newport, which is very close to Mohawk, and made Hunt's ketchup there. And anything tomato, it was Hunt's ketchup, Hunt's sauce, tomato paste, all those kind of things. So I'm thinking, okay, perfect. It ties in with the area. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that Heinz works. And then we're going to tie in, where is it? Right there. Dunder Mifflin gets paper on the train and makes the labels and the cardboard, anything, paper related for whatever Heinz needs before they ship it out. Guess what? Ties right in. Boom. So thanks for watching. I know that was a lot of rattle, but the idea of telling a story with the layout is kind of just warms my heart right now. So if it was boring for you, I'm sorry. But that's all I got for today. Next time I see you, I'll probably have the covering over all this nastiness and have the ballast finished, and then we'll be moving on to table 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Like us, subscribe if you want to. Click. Bye-bye.